guys. I would like to share my 1 year anniversary, my 1 year birthday, my 4th of July or Independence Day. Um, it's all of those wrapped together. This is the one complete year that I've been recognizing the sacred secretion and doing the practices, and something indeed super spectacular, glorious has happened, and I'd like to share it so that I can offer some hope to others. Just stick in there. You can do it, and it is so worth it. Paydays are so worth it if you guys just stick in with it. I promise you. I promise you. You will be so pleased if you just hang tough. Make sure if you haven't subscribed already to click the red subscribe button, and make sure to click the bell that's on the right so that you get notifications of all new videos. Please like and share. Great amounts of energy and time and effort go into creating these videos so that hopefully others can utilize them as knowledge, but also as some hope for themselves, and some guidance and some peace. Consider donating towards the creation cost and future growth of the channel. Your gifts not only help me, but they also give hope, as I said, health and peace to those who cannot afford to donate financially. The links are listed below. All amounts are greatly appreciated and needed. Here's just a few graphics to show exactly how, well, I still do feel like this mentally, but this is how I was feeling throughout this last Christos, and I'm fully aware that everyone's synchronicities and connections and personal revelations make them feel this way, and you may not feel as excited as I feel, and that's okay. And surely, though, I want to say that what I'm about to tell you, there's so many people. I'm a realist. There's so many people who are not going to believe what I'm going to tell you happened to me. But I don't care. I feel like this baby, and I'm just letting it all hang out. So go, baby, go. And this. This is how I felt. This is how I felt at other times. Back to a dancing baby again. Yeah, dance, baby, dance. To just feeling like it just couldn't be possible. There's no way. I was walking on different timelines. I'm just so excited. Right, and the key to all of the excitement is this verse. Ask, that's a verb, it's an action word, and it will be given to you. Seek, another action word, and you will find what you're looking for. Knock, another action word, 3 action words, and the door will be open unto you. I tell you, you guys, all an intent. If you have it, you will be given things. You'll start seeing things. Things will start being given to you, and many doors will be open unto you. Definitely awesome. However, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but faith alone does not work. Faith without the works is absolutely dead. You have to put in those action words. They must be done for this to work. And your mind will open up like a floodgate. If you expect it to, it's going to. I promise you that this works. It works. It works if you work it. what I've experienced, I can tell, I thoroughly understand now why we've been lied to on on a mass scale. We are so powerful, and we know so much that this has been kept from us because of, well, everything comes out of fear. Everything that's done is out of fear if it's negative. So the people who didn't give us this information, it's because they themselves were fearful. But truly, we are incredible, incredible super machines. We are gods, in fact. A god is a creator and one who manifests, and we are certainly gods. Now, what I'm going to share with you is 3 or 4 precognitive dreams that I've had over this sacred secretion time that blew me away. I've always dreamt. I hardly ever remember the dreams. I'm just very aware that I dream, and occasionally I'll get bits and pieces or a word or a name or a symbol or something, and then it's up to me to go and search it down and see what it means. This 1-year anniversary, again, blown away. Every time I slept at night, I dreamt, and the next morning when I woke up, I had some kind of message, and yeah, I'll just start showing you. All right, this is my drawing, and I am not an artist. I'm a writer, actually. I do poetry. I'm not good at drawing. However, this is my rendition of April the 9th, the day before my sacred secretion, as I was laying down in my bed before I went to sleep. This wasn't a dream, actually. This is before I slept. The same premise, though. I was laying there, and I was doing all of my sending peace and love and vibration and green to this person, that person, the universe, thanking, asking my subconscious to, speak to my conscious mind so that I could start to heal myself and possibly help others to heal, blah, blah, blah. And I was feeling really good. And I was doing all this with this, I guess you can say praying, if you will. I was speaking all of this, but my eyes were open while I was doing all of this. And after I got done my prayers, I closed my eyes, and immediately I saw this vision of it was all black, and then I saw like a chalice. I want to like hold my hands and cup my hands and say like this is a hand and then this is a hand. Like it looked like two, that was the shape of it. It looked like a red chalice, but it had flames. This area was all red and yellow and orange and had flames, and it looked like a half of a red or yellow flaming, I don't know, chalice, but it was covered in this black. And I remember thinking, oh, that's beautiful. I never get to usually see colors in this unless I concentrate. And this was like an image that I was seeing, and it was beautiful. And I have written down on my notepad underneath of there, fire, flames, question mark, and I will blow it up a little bit for you. But, so I was all happy about this, and I went to sleep, and that was April the 9th, the day before my sacred secretion, and I woke up the next day, and I saw this. April 10th, 2019, black hole image makes history. What? And Kathy flipped her stuff and was bebopping all over the house going, no, there's no way I could have seen that. There's no way I could have seen that last night, and no one is going to believe me. And why should they? And I'm talking to myself back and forth, but I'm bouncing all over the house going, oh, thank you. Thank you, sacred secretion time. This is awesome. Give me some more. Now, fast forward to uh, April 10th in the evening. Now, it's been a whole day, almost 24 hours since I seen that first, the chalice thing. And I'm about to go to sleep. And I have so lately been contemplating so hard exactly how reincarnation works and how many cycles that you have to do, and can when you're done your cycles, can you come back just because you want to help people, or and then if you do, like, do you get stuck here and you have to go through all the cycles again? Like, my mind's just been going like berserk about reincarnation. I'm really now in the past couple of months coming to firmly believe in my soul that yes, definitely reincarnation, yes, and you get to pick all your lives and blah da da da. So I was getting ready to go to sleep, and I also have to say I don't usually watch videos about stuff. I mainly like just read ancient text and books about philosophy and science and psychology and stuff. I'm not really too into the YouTube watching the videos, but I was finding something. I think it was a lecture to listen to as I went to sleep, and on the sidebar there was this video, and it said reincarnation. You chose this life, and I was like, oh wow, that's exactly what I've been thinking lately. Like that I chose this, and I was wondering, I was trying. Here's what I was trying to do. I've had a horrible life, like very, very volatile, near death many times from people, very, very bad. And I've always been like this loving, oh, I love it. There, it's okay. And so I never understood why, like, if karma was a thing, like I seriously started teetering on maybe, oh, I had to be a horrible person. I had to be a horrible, maybe I was a baby killer, or some kind of person who like sacrificed people. What did I do to be, because I have lived through some horrific stuff that was not, like, I wasn't wrong. It wasn't me. And thankfully, that video, it pops up. I click on it, and talking about reincarnation, and they get done, and at the end, this woman does a question series for like 5 or 10 minutes. This lady stands up and she goes, well, what about people who are if the reincarnation is real, what about people who are born and they're raped and they're abused and they're this and they're that and they're held hostage? Why would they agree to do that? And I was like, yeah, why would they? Exactly what I was just thinking. And the woman who was doing the lecture answered and said, oh, that's easy to answer. She was like, those are all, well, basically, they're like ones. They're one people. They're leader, which I'm a one person. If anybody knows anything about me, 11s and ones are all me. But she said they're like the leader types that think, okay, look, I know that I have to reincarnate, and I know I'm strong, and I don't want to do stuff over and over and over again. So I want to go and get as much of the bad, everything bad that I have to live through to learn what it is to be the abused, and the abuser, all of the bad stuff. I just want to jump into it over my head in the deep end, get it all over me as much as I can absorb at once and get it done with, because I'm not about dilly-dallying. And she said, and a lot of people, they crack by doing that, choosing that kind of reincarnation, but a lot of people gain so much from it. And they also knew, because they bring powers in from past lifetimes, such and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yeah, I like it. I'm not a mass murderer anymore. I never did. Something didn't sit well. I knew in my soul I couldn't have ever harmed, purposely harmed people ever. Like, I know that I couldn't. So that made much more sense that, that I chose just to dive into the really tough stuff. For certain reasons. Okay, so all of that. As soon as that woman said that, I clicked stop, click, stopped the video, and a voice in my head, audibly, I heard, Gwendolyn Farver. And I out loud said, Gwendolyn Farver who? Because I don't know a Gwendolyn, Catherine, and I've never known anyone with the last name of Farver. And so the voice in my head said, well, why don't you go and check that out, Kathy? Go see if you can find Gwendolyn Farver. Let me tell you what, my brain is all about giving me names. It loves it. I'm supposing my subconscious well knows that my conscious mind's going to dig into it and find the bone that's in there. Okay, so I'm going to call it my subconscious was telling me, yeah, so go look up Gwendolyn Farver since you don't know who that is or never heard of her. So I come to Google, I type in Gwendolyn Farver, and the very first result that pops up is Gwendolyn Allen Farver, and it's an obituary. And I see, oh, look, she's 93. She made a long time. Yay, Gwendolyn. And then I was, of course, numerology, 9 and 3 is 12. Hey, that's a completion. That's a whole 12 complete. So I said, all right, Gwendolyn. I click on Gwendolyn to see what this is, what kind of connection or why my brain's telling me to go, in the midst of a reincarnation thing. And I look, and oh, again, Kathy jumps up and down and starts hooting and hollering. Do you see what this is? This Gwendolyn woman, Gwendolyn, dear Gwendolyn, passed away on my birthday. She passed away on my birthday last year, June 23rd. I'm like, what? Gwendolyn, what? Subconscious? Hey! Dancing all over. And then I start reading more, and I'm like, what? She's in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. Well, I don't know where Newcastle, Pennsylvania is, but I live in Pennsylvania, Gwendolyn. And then, wow, what ironicity is this? Because this is Newcastle, Pennsylvania that this woman died in. And Kathy was raised in Newark, Delaware, in Newcastle County. And then there's so many more things that happen the next day along with this Gwendolyn Farver and all of this information that I'm showing you that I'm not going to get into because, again, I'm probably way more excited than you are at this point. So let's go on to the next thing that happened. I'm into my second day, well, firmly into the one day is gone now, firmly into the second day of my Christos, and oh my goodness, I'm as sick as I've ever been in my whole, and I still have some of it in me right now. I was so sick, head pounding, begging all powers that I can invoke and evoke to please let it stop. It wouldn't stop. It was so horrendous. Oh my goodness, I was so sick until the fourth day. On the fifth day, though, bam, woke up, all good, and more dreams. All right, the 16th and 17th, I had dreams, but I'm not going to disclose those because those are not the same kind of, maybe a different time. So now I am into, on the 18th, this is the 18th, I dreamt, I woke up, and very loud voice, I said, Primrose! Now, Kathy doesn't know, clearly I'm aware it has to be a flower. But I'm not a botanist. I don't know, I didn't know a primrose from like a miniature carnation or what. I didn't know. But this is the word that I woke up saying on the 18th. Primrose! So cool. What's primrose mean? Primrose flower represents women in various stages of life as it goes through fixed cycles. I dig it. The main meanings of primrose flower are youth, love, birth, like it, femininity, like it. As primrose flower blooms in the early spring, they represent youth, new beginnings, new life, birth, like it, all like it. Yay, Latin, I love Latin. Primula vulgaris, which means the first rose. And you know what? I spun off on this one so much that day that I was like, this is so interesting. I also found out that the primrose is a very special flower that has ears to hear. It hears special bees and special moths up to 3 minutes away before they get there. They hear them and they know that the bees and the moths are coming to pollinate them. The primrose flower does. So you know what it does? It like amps up all of its juices, I guess, if you will, but it makes its nectar like 3 times or 10 times sweeter or something. And it does it 3 minutes before they get there. So as soon as they get there, it's at its maximum amount of sweetness dose. I just thought that was very, very cool. And then I also found out that Shakespeare talks about the primrose, and then it's linked into the Rosicrucian and the Rosicrucianists and Rene Descartes. So all of that was very interesting, and I was like, oh, this is great. The prima, the first flower, and rebirth. I'm liking it. Thank you, subconscious. This is great. Then I woke up the next day and said, Kathy, you need to keep on looking about that primrose. That was all cool and well, but look. And you know what? On the 19th of April, I looked up on Google, and it was freaking National Primrose Day. Blew my brain again. Kathy, National Primrose Day. Now, again, I'm sure that people can feel my excitement, and I know, no big deal. Who cares, Kathy, that you, were given the word primrose the day before National Primrose Day? Who cares? To me, this is they're all connections, they're all correlations, they're all spiritual revelations, and it's also letting me know, yes, Kathy, trust your intuition and trust yourself because you do know things. And I think the reason that these things happened was because if it wasn't if April 19th wasn't National Primrose Day, I don't think me waking up with a word of primrose would have that much behind it. Probably because I'm human and my critical part of my brain would be thinking, okay, Kathy, yeah, sure, right, primrose, it means rebirth. That's great, but so I'm pretty sure that all of these things happened to let me know, yes, you do know. You definitely do know. It's in there. Just ask, and it'll be released to you. Okay, so that was the 19th of April. I went to sleep that night, and I dreamt a whole bunch of stuff. Can't really remember, but I sat up in my bed in the morning, and the only thing that I could say was radiation! And again, I'm like, ooh, we already had the black hole. We already had National Primrose Day. Radiation's got to mean something, Kathy. Go get into it. Woo! So Kathy goes and Googles April 20th radiation, and what pops up this day in history in April 20th, 1902, Marie and Pierre Curie isolate what? Radium. Yep. So on April 20th, 1902, Marie and Pierre Curie successfully isolated radioactive radium salts from the mineral pitch blend in their laboratory in Grand Paris. And also, side note, Marie Curie is radioactive. She's radioactive for about another 1,500 years until the year 3,400 and something. She's radioactive. Her coffin is lined with an inch of lead or something. So isn't that ironic? Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Okay, so it was my 11th. So now I'm into my 11th, my 12th day of my Christos, and I just know that something extraordinary is going to happen. I wake up that morning and dreamt again, couldn't remember anything, but what I did remember was a number. And that number was 1144, and though it has multiple connections and correlations and synchronicities for me, the very first one that came to me was, okay, well, let's look in the Bible. What's got in the chapter 11, verse 44? John. And it's all about, quote unquote, Jesus telling Lazarus to get your butt on up, son. Your death days are over. Take off the grave clothes and let him go. And I said, yeehaw! Yes, I shall. I shall leave the grave now and leave my grave clothes behind. It is Easter. Right, there are many more connections and synchronicities, and they're just too much to put on here. But I would like to share this with you. This morning, or at 12:27, I know it was 12:27 because when I walked out in the kitchen and saw my stove that said 8:44, I said, it's not 8:44. And I went back into my living room and looked at the television that said 12:27. I said, well, the stove is messed up. So I go back out into the kitchen, and I was like, 8:44, like that 44 keeps saying 111 to 444s and 1144s, lots of 4s, and 8s means strength, and a double 44 means strength, and 88 is a 16, which is 7, which is spiritual man. So I'm really liking all of those numbers. That's really cool. I like that a lot. So then I go and I open up the back door, because that's what I was doing. I was coming into the kitchen to take a breath of fresh air before I sat down to create this video. And I open my back door, and what do I see? This is what I see. There's a car, a white car, parked right underneath of my house, right underneath of where I sit. And I said, what does that say? What? Elevate? You gotta be shitting me, right? Really? Elevate? Never seen this car before, number one. Number two, I've never seen a car that said elevate. But I was really digging it, and I was like, yes, I accept it, I like it. I wonder if 844 has something to do with it. So I come back inside, and I pull this up, the hidden number of 844, encouraging you to bring your existence to a higher level, elevate. Again, now I'm dancing around like, yeah, elevate, levitate. I was trying to put an extra T in there so I could switch the letters around and say, let's levitate, let's elevate to a levitation. So, my friends, in closing here, know that you are so incredibly powerful, and you know so much that you're not tapped into. And if you honestly believe it and search for it with all intent, you'll find it. Of course, you have to put major work into it, because you've got to get your body, mind, soul, spirit all cleansed. You've got to be, not like Marie Curie, not radioactive in that way, but a good radioactive. I'm radioactive. That's what I am. I've tuned myself in, my body and my mind and the environment, that I'm literally radioactive. I'm picking up frequencies, feeling frequencies. I know I'm giving off frequencies. So, indeed, I am radioactive, and you guys are, and you can be extremely radioactive if you put some work into it. Please, you guys, don't give up. Don't give up. It's very, very difficult, and each level is gonna be difficult. It's not ever gonna be easy, but it's gonna be better. So don't give up. Hang in there. Any questions? I'm here to help. If I can't help, I'm walking along the path just like you. But ask me any kind of questions. I'm glad to give any advice if I can. And just know that you have the power. We've all had the power all along to know what's going on, why we're here, all of it. And we have the power to escape. It's within us all.
Oh, will you help me? Can you help me? You don't need to be helped any longer. You've always had the power to go back to Kansas. I have.
Then why didn't you tell her before?
Because she wouldn't have believed me. She had to learn it for herself.
Peace and love to you all. Tap into your own radioactivity. Until the next